welcome to my channel. My name is Barrister Mrs. Nweke Chinemere. I'm a lawyer and my practice areas are family law, trust and estate, and corporate law. And I practice as a partner at a law firm called Millennial Legal. Now, today's topic is on domestic violence. It's the last episode on a series that I've been doing on domestic violence in Nigeria. So for today, the topic is the help, the resources that are available for victims of domestic violence. If you are a victim of domestic violence, are there resources out there for you that you can use to get help? Yes, there are resources out there. There really are resources, but it's not what you easily get. It's something that you have to seek out, right? So my aim for today is to make it easier for you to know that these resources are available for you so that you don't get confused. Now, what are those resources? Number one, there are legal resources that are out there, and these legal resources are in the form of laws and acts that are out there for you. One of these laws, and the main law for victims of domestic violence, is the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. I'll just break it down for you. It's a simple law that the federal government passed in 2015, and in that law, it criminalizes domestic violence. And the good thing about that law is that it criminalizes both physical violence, economic violence, sexual violence, psychological violence. It criminalizes it. So if you are witnessing domestic violence and you would like to recourse to the law to help you get out of it, you can actually take the route of legal help, right? I hope you get what I'm saying. So that means if you want to get legal help to protect yourself, you can go talk to a lawyer. You can go to your justice legal aid council. I will put the address down below as well of the legal aid councils. I can just put the link of the website, and when you get there, you can see the different numbers for different locations depending on where you are. So these are the legal resources that are available. Apart from legal resources, there are also NGOs whose main aim is to help women that are in domestic violence to get help. Depending on your own situation, it may be that it's time for you to leave. It may be that you just need somebody to talk to. It may be that you need somebody to mediate for you between you and your couple and your partner. So there are NGOs that are available that can help you to achieve that purpose. There is a particular NGO that I like, and it's in Lagos. It's an NGO that is run by a lady, and the name of the NGO is, I'll put the link down below. I think it's Domestic Violence Assistance Line Initiative. It's owned by Miss Joyce Okumbowa. I think that NGO, what they really do is that they have phone lines that you can actually call and you get to talk to some people, because it has been found out that victims of domestic violence, a lot of times they are really very lonely and isolated. They don't know who to talk to, and they are usually ashamed because they don't want to be judged, right? So this NGO is available for you if you need to talk to somebody that can give you advice, because the people that manage the phone lines are survivors, so they can give you sound advice on what to do to help yourself. So I'll put the link down below as well. If you need to talk to somebody, counseling, you can talk to them, right? Now, there are also other NGOs that are out there for you, right? And I'll also put the links of NGOs, right? Another thing again is counseling. You can actually get counseling for yourself, right? You can get counseling. I know counseling is not very popular in Nigeria, but it's a very vital tool that lots of people, especially in abroad, use when they find themselves in situations where they are confused and they don't know what to do. There are counseling outfits available, even if I know there are ones in Lagos and Abuja and perhaps in other cities, right? But even if where you are, you don't have access to this counseling, to a physical office, I'm sure that they are also available online, right? So you can seek those ones out. So the fourth resources out there is also the church, your religious leaders. I'm sure there are lots of churches out there that do not support violence against women, and that the churches would try actively to mediate, with the man or whoever it is that is the abuser, to understand that whatever it is that he's doing to this lady, that is detrimental to the woman and to the entire family. So if you feel that your church does not support domestic violence, you can actually reach out to your church or to your religious leader to talk to them and help you find help, in case if you don't want to leave, if you just want somebody that can get through to your husband to make him understand, especially if perhaps, even if he's whatever, if you feel like the odds are really stacked against you and you still want to save your marriage, this is something that you can actually do, right? And if you feel that your church, that they don't mind, they are not supportive of you, you can actually look for a church, another church that you feel like they do not support violence, and you can talk to them and they can reach out to your husband. Because I know that in Nigeria, lots of Nigerian men, they listen to their religious leaders, they listen to their pastors, their priests, their imam. So it's an effective tool to use as well, right? And then the fifth one is this: if you feel like your life is in danger, that you're going to die, I would advise you that you have to step out, really, if you feel like, because if you don't step out, it can end very disastrous. It can be disastrous, really. So if you feel like, if you just set yourself truly and you feel like you are heading to that path of death, I would advise you that whatever be the case, whether the economic odds are against you, whether nobody is gonna, I just feel like you need to step out. Now, depending on the stage where the violence has gotten to, I know a lot of smart women that when they feel like they need to get out of this relationship, they begin to make smart moves. It's called safety plan. They begin to make out a safety plan on how to get out. Your safety plan could be that you begin to try and find something that you can do, and you start saving money, no matter the amount, even if it's an amount that can take you back to your village, right? They begin to save, they begin to plan, they begin to visualize how it's going to happen. So if you feel like, and you not necessarily if you feel like, you know that your life, because if you know that your life is in danger, that this thing is not going to end well, or if you feel like this is really affecting my children, then you need to create a safety plan on how to get out. Because at the end of the day, your life is priority. If you feel like you're getting crazy, you're mentally out crazy, because domestic violence creates some kind of mental schizophrenia. A lot of mental issues do come up. Some of victims of domestic violence, some of them don't even use. I've seen one couldn't even talk. Like, you're talking to her and she's just dazed and looking at you, because you had messed up with her mind so bad. So if you feel like your mind has been messed up, that you're going crazy, you're going out of your mind, I would advise that you think in that direction. Okay? So that's my advice for you. So for whatever be the case, I would advise all women that they must not depend on any man. No, it's not a wise decision. You must not depend on any man. You must try to be financially independent, because once you're financially dependent on a man, then you're already creating that space for domestic violence to be perpetrated, because a lot of those abusers know that no matter what, that you are going to depend on them. So they already know that they have that weapon against you, and they use it. So the best bet for you is to create financial independence for yourself, so that if anything happens, you know that you're not going to be stopped because you are feeling like you cannot live because you don't have money. Don't do that to yourself. It's not worth it. You are much more than that. You worth more than that. So you must understand your worth, and you must try and make sure that you do not depend on any man, especially if you have that connotation, that thinking that, oh, let me get married and have kids, and the man will provide for me. I will tell you that it's not safe for you, baby girl. It's not safe at all. At the end, financial independence is supreme. So you have to be financially independent, right? So now, having said that, I would like to quickly say this, that it's a very good thing that we have this Domestic Violence Act that have, stated out in clear terms that domestic violence is a crime. But the problem is that it's still not effective in Nigeria, because people don't like to talk about domestic violence. Men don't like to talk about domestic violence because somehow they just don't like to talk about it, because number one, it's kind of intimidating for them, because men, especially Nigerian men, like to stay in control all the time. But even if the men do not talk about it, the women, we have to talk about it, especially for those that have the power to actually say that this is wrong. We have the responsibility to raise our voices and to keep persuading the men and the people that are in power to realize that domestic violence is a pandemic and it needs to be treated as one. We need to make them realize that domestic violence, especially against women, is detrimental to the nation, because when you violate a woman, it affects her in such a way that she may feel that she's not worth anything, that she can't be useful to her society. And what that means is that she becomes unproductive, and she becomes unproductive to the economy. But if you have women that are respected, that are dignified, it will give them that confidence to know that they can contribute to their society. So the society we live in must understand that domestic violence is detrimental to not just the woman herself, but to her family and to the entire members of the society. So we must keep speaking against it. Another thing that I would like to recommend again is making it a law for victims of domestic violence to be able to get out, especially when they don't have money. Now, countries like US, UK, Germany, developed countries, they already have made it into a law that any woman that is in a domestic violence, or anybody that is in a domestic violence, that it's a law, it's a right, it's a fundamental human rights violation, and therefore she must get the resources that she needs to get out of it. And one of the things that they've done, which I think is very commendable, is to set up shelters. And these shelters now makes it possible for a woman that says that she doesn't have any place to go to, or that her family members may not allow her to come back to the family house. So these shelters now provide a safe space for her to go in, so she can stay there and until she gets back on her feet. And if you can even go a step further, to provide facilities like counseling facilities, crafts facilities, really just things that can help a violated woman to get back on her feet. If Nigerian government can make it a priority to set these things up and make it available, I feel like a lot of women that know that they are in this situation can actually get out and get the help that they need to get back on their feet. So this is me calling out the government to understand the impact of domestic violence on women and the impact of it on the economy, and make it a national emergency and of national importance to make sincere laws that would impact a woman that has been violated and help her get back on her feet. So I hope this video had made an impact on whoever that has watched it, and I hope that if you are a man that is an abuser, or if you're a woman that is an abuser, that you understand that domestic violence, whether sexual violence, physical violence, emotional violence, economic violence, whatever form that is wrong, and it's synonymous to murder, because you're killing the person slowly. And if you feel like you cannot help yourself, you can actually get counseling. You can speak out to your leaders. You can go to counseling. It's available. It's not a crime for you to actually go to counseling. There are psychologists that are available for you to speak to and for them to help you out. If there are root causes of it, perhaps you grew up in a household where your mother was violated, and then you feel like it's normal for you. You should know that it's wrong, and then you should seek help. If there are habits that you do that, if there are habits that you undertake, in example substance abuse, alcohol, that triggers you, then you should know better not to keep relying on this substance abuse, because it's killing another person. So finally, I would leave us with these thoughts. If you are an abuser, remember that you have a daughter. Remember that you had a mother. You have a mother. Remember that you may have sisters. What happens? How would you feel like if somebody that she loves abuses her? How would you feel like? Think about it. Think about what you're doing to your victim. Realize that you are not God. Realize that you can control yourself. If you are hot-tempered, find other ways to channel your anger. Do not channel your anger on a fellow human being just because you feel like she is the weaker sex. Please do get help. Thank you. Till I come your way next time, please stay blessed and bye.